Is this the part where I bring up some monstrous spoiler that ruins the game for everybody? Because I'm not doing that. Hey guys, it's LeokoGem, and welcome to another video. I'm here to talk about Sonic Forces again, and this time we're going to be talking about how the game was, well, leaked. Now, I haven't seen everything to do with the game. I've only seen the first 9 levels of the game, but I figured that since I've been talking a lot about Sonic Forces, I should talk about it. Now, know that this is going to be entirely spoiler-free. This video, I'm not going to get into any sort of spoilers. Now, if enough people want me to make a spoiler video, then hey. But for this, I'm just gonna talk spoiler-free, and I'm gonna continue to talk spoiler-free unless asked until the game comes out, officially releases. So, well, at least in the video. But I should note that in the comments for this video, that's fair game. If you get spoiled in the comments, not my fault. I have warned you here. Comment spoilers, not my fault. I will be discussing in the comments, but everything in this video spoiler free. So you've been warned. And with that being said, let's go. So first, I'm going to talk about the gameplay of Sonic Forces and everything I've seen. Honestly, the gameplay looks pretty fun. The gameplay is very visually pleasing. Not only that, but there's a lot of fun parts of the game that are really gonna make you guys just go nuts. And the QuickTime events, there's just so many cool scenes in this game, and it's just gonna be really cool for everybody to see and get into. But with that being said, what else can we talk about with Sonic Forces? There's the music, and the music, it's alright. I like it. Nothing too big for me to point out with music. Like, they're okay pieces. I really like some of the boss music that I've seen so far. Like, oh, the boss music. That's nice. But probably one of the other big pieces of music that we haven't seen yet is the second Avatar level. I love the music of the second Avatar level. Like, it is just gorgeous, and I love it. And I can't get into specifics, but you guys are gonna love that. And if you haven't already seen that, so yeah. With music out of the way, let's talk about story. The big thing that the LeokoGem has always talked about with Sonic Forces. And honestly, let's start with, well, actually, I'm just gonna put it out there. I am a tad concerned about the story, and here's why. First of all, let's talk about the way the game opens. I mean, it feels really awkward, and honestly, the way the game opens sets up the issue with the rest of at least the beginning of the game. Now, keep in mind, only first 9 levels, so yeah, but no, the very beginning, the first level in the very beginning cutscene just feel really awkward and a tad out of place. I feel like this is the sort of thing that could have been explained, all of it in just a cutscene, or just in general the way it works. It does not work like at all. The opening cutscene and the opening level for Sonic Forces, it just feels really awkward, and I just feel it could have been summed up in just an entire opening cutscene, or remove the first level entirely, because it just adds for really awkward pacing, which brings me into my next point. The pacing of this game is, at least the very beginning, I've only seen the very beginning, fair reminder. I have not seen everything, but just the very beginning, first 9 levels. The pacing is awkward, because there are some things that are going really quick, and other things that go very slow. For instance, there's something that Sonic brings up that he really shouldn't be bringing up right at the beginning of the game. Like, okay, you're just gonna throw that out there? Sure. Okay. Okay, and then there's a plot with other characters that has just barely begun. Meanwhile, there are things that are rocketing along, and it's basically comparing modern Sonic to Sonic Boom. Boom, where modern Sonic is so quick. Sonic Boom takes things slower, well, at least in Rise of Lyric. Speaking of Rise of Lyric, never mind. Okay. Oh, man. No, okay, but no, for real. It's just pacing is an issue. Not only that, but the way the story is handled, it jumps around a lot from perspective to perspective, and at times it works well, at other times it's really awkward and feels like, okay, you're just cutting us off right in the middle of something, and it's not good. It's not very good. Like, I mean, it's concerning. Like, is the whole game going to be like this? Is this something that, see, with writing there, beginning a story is always the hardest thing, because I mean having written for so many years, I started when I was like 13. Yeah, I'm 19 now, so I've been writing for 6 years, and I know that starting a story is one of the hardest parts, so I'm hoping that this is something that the writers eventually figure out and get smooth sailing, but I'm just very concerned. Now keep in mind, this has nothing to do with the premise of the game. The things that are going on in this game are very, very interesting. It's just the way that they're carrying out right in the beginning here is very concerning to me, and I'm not sure if I like it or not, at least the way that it's being handled. But like I said, the event's very interesting, but there are times where you're just like, what? But yeah, let's move on to how the characters are handled in Sonic Forces. Let's talk about Knuckles first. He's a perfect leader of the Resistance. I love the way Knuckles is being handled in this game. It's really, really awesome. As for Amy, Amy is cool. Amy is actually very, very nice in this game from what I've seen so far. She's in this more mature role and she's acting up to it. However, you also have a lot of her reactions, emotional responses to things that make it very Amy-ish for her. Amy still feels like Amy, just in a different role, and that's perfect. You'll see what I mean about that when you get into the game, if you've gotten into the game and that sort of thing. And yeah. Then there's the Chaotix and Silver. They're cool. I'm not gonna get, well, I mean, they're cool. There hasn't been much of them yet. Like, there has, but there hasn't. Their character is good. Their characters are good. So yeah. And then there's, to wrap up, we've got Sonic and Tails. And the reason I say Sonic and Tails to wrap up is because I'm not going to talk about, well, the villains yet, because there's something I want to focus on. I feel to talk about villains would be a bit spoilery at the moment, because, well, getting into specifics, and I feel like the villains I need to get into specifics at this current point in time in the game, so I'm just avoiding them entirely. For Classic Sonic, it's very simple. He's Classic Sonic. He's alright. He's doing well. He still doesn't talk. Julia White, where are you? But that's besides the point. Getting back to what I was saying earlier, Sonic and Tails. Now, Sonic and Tails suffer from a lot of the same issues. They have the same strengths and the same issues with how they're being handled in Sonic Forces. First, let's talk about Sonic. Now, with Sonic, let's talk about his strengths first, since I need that to kind of get into his weaknesses, well, in terms of character. I love the way Sonic is being done in Sonic Forces. He feels so Sonic. Like, I mean, Sonic is being characterized in such a way that I very, very much enjoy, and it feels very much like the Sonic that I picture, the Sonic that I picture, and the way that I like the character to be portrayed. Sonic so far, looking good. But here's the thing. There is a lot of stuff that happens with Sonic that I feel need to be addressed, and I'm hoping that it's because it's so early on in the game that these things haven't been addressed. Like, a lot of the things that he has done in this game so far feel very one-sided, and I want to see the other side of those things, and that's why. He feels... I don't want to say he feels like half of a character right now, because that's not true. But just that there's more to be desired, and I'm hoping that along the course of the game that other side of it will be desired. But oh ho ho, Sonic's character and the implications already with his character are very, very nice. I like what they've done so far. But as for Tails, he has more issues. Some of the same issues, but more issues. For starters, I've talked about classic Sonic and modern Tails being together in this game. You all know how I feel about that. But here's the thing. How modern Tails ends up with classic Sonic is a little to me, and that has a lot to do with the way his character is being portrayed. I feel like it falls into a lot of the character derailment that Tails has gotten since Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2. Since Sonic Adventure 2, maybe Heroes. The point of it is, getting on top of it, the point of it is, Tails is falling into a lot of the same traps that they have been putting Tails in character in for years, and I don't like that. However, at the same time, a lot of the things Tails is doing feel like Tails. Like, it still has a lot of those traps, but it also makes it where Tails reacts in a way that feels like Tails, and that's great. But at the same time, it's frustrating because it falls into a lot of those traps, and I'm just hoping that Tails will develop more as a character, and hopefully forces the game that gets Tails out of these traps that his character has fallen into these days, because but Tails is still likable and enjoyable. It's just certain things in there. Certain things. But, yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. Now, as for how I feel about both Forces and why I went into these leaks in the first place is, honestly, I don't plan to play Forces, at least not right now. Maybe, if anything, maybe in December, because at the moment, I just do not have, I guess, the funds to play the game. So that's just a thing that's not going to be happening right now, which is part of the reason why I'm jumping in. I still want to talk about the story with you guys. I still want to be at least a part of Forces and everything going on with it. So that's kind of why I haven't cared much about these leaks, because it's not like Mania where I knew I was going to experience it. It's where I know I'm not going to experience it, at least not right away. So yeah. And that's kind of why I got into these leaks and everything. But, yeah, that'll do it for this video. What do you all think about Sonic Forces and everything going on in the story? Do you like what's going on? Do you dislike it? Have you even seen it yet? Are you excited for the game? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video or want to hear more from LeokoGem, then like, subscribe, and follow my social media at Tumblr, Twitter, and Discord, all linked below. But thanks so much for watching. And guys, thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. That's insane, and I really love you all for that. But hey, thanks so much for watching, and with all of that being said, this has been the LeokoGem, a warping out.